So starting a business is not for the faint in heart. It's for the one who can really endure to the end.
Yeah, it's not for the weak.
It
is not. And you get so many people that say to you, you know, they see the end, the process at the end. And they always ask me, like, why do you go back to school? You know, why did you stay in school? And I'm like, because it's a learning process.
Yes.
To be great at anything, you have to keep learning.
Absolutely. Leaders are forever learners.
Leaders are forever learners. Absolutely.
Hello, and welcome to the Leadership Reality Podcast with your girl, Taiji Charity. This podcast is for C-suite leaders to discuss their experiences and provide insight, encouragement, and inspiration for seasoned and inspiring leaders, offering valuable solutions to today's challenges that will inspire, ignite, and invigorate new and seasoned leaders to walk in their God-given authority with compassion, kindness, and empathy. So sit back, relax, and be prepared to be inspired with today's episode of Leadership Reality. Thank you.
Welcome to another episode of Leadership Realities with me, Taiji Charity. Y'all get ready, because Chi-Town is in the building, okay? Our guest today is my girl, my friend, the queen of entrepreneurs who owns multiple daycare centers in Chicago, Illinois. Her name is Miss Evelyn Sparks. Evelyn earned a bachelor's in education specializing in mathematics and sociology from DePaul University and a master's in early childhood education. She owns multiple daycare centers overseeing over 40 employees. God bless the girl. With over 20 years in the child care industry, she creates a nurturing and educational environment for children and families. She began her career teaching 8th graders, then transitioned to teaching advanced mathematics in GED programs before transitioning into childcare. She is the author of 3 books, My First Day at Daycare, Your Daycare Blueprint, and Start a Successful and Nurturing Daycare Business, a Complete Guide. We'll put it in the chat for you. Evelyn also co-founded the nonprofit K-Ray's World of Services, supporting youth in low-income areas. She also founded the Child Care Lounge. She is the entrepreneur and community leader queen in my book, all right? Evelyn, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Oh, I'm excited as well.
I'm gonna hold on and try to pace myself because we got it started even before the camera started rolling, right?
Yes, absolutely.
We got it cranked up in here. Listen, tell me, when did it start for you?
I believe for me, it started at a young age. Just seeing my parents being entrepreneurs and growing up in a household, that right there is just, it puts you on another level.
Yes.
Because you want to work that 9 to 5, but when you see your parents doing it, working and owning their own businesses, it puts you in a different mindset.
Yeah. What type of business did your parents own?
Well, as I remember, record stores. My father owned many businesses with my mom. They owned they had Sparkle Cosmetics, which was like a lotion line, a cosmetic line, the cosmetic line was my mom's.
Okay.
She basically put that out. But we owned a candy store in Chicago.
Oh, Lord. You on a sugar high, huh?
Oh, my God.
Unlimited candy.
Yeah, my dentist loved me. Right?
Sure.
And me being the youngest, because I have 4 siblings older than me. And so for that, I seen everything, right? And, you know, missing days, want to be with my parents at the candy store, at the record store, just following up under my older siblings. But seeing the business aspect of it, I believe that is where it was just like, okay, this is something I want to do. Because our parents are our first
they're
role models.
Exactly.
And I believe we learn so much from them, not only the good things, but also the failures. Because as we got older, you know, your parents tell you about taxes, the 401ks, retirement. We see what they didn't do so we could prepare ourselves for things we need to do.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it all began for
Modeling is the best example.
Oh, absolutely.
Being able to watch it in action, right?
Right.
Did you ever work at any of those locations, the record store or the candy store?
I did. I mean, time to time. My sister even had a nail shop, and my father even built, like, by hand, a nail salon for my sister.
Are you
and sent her to nail school.
Is it your twin, my friend? Y'all, Evelyn is the sister of my girl, Kimberly Sparks, who's also the producer of this show, the casting director for kids, and multiple businesses of her own.
Yes.
But I know y'all are not literal twins, but y'all look just alike.
We look like my father and my mother. I mean, we modeled.
Yeah, y'all got a combination of both. Well, y'all are beautiful, inside and out.
Thank you.
So let me just throw that out there.
Thank you. And you as well.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sometimes our sisters be lifting each other up.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
So let's talk about your businesses, because you own multiple businesses. When was the first one for you? You got the model just from being in a home with entrepreneurs, but then you decided, I want to launch my business, and yours is childcare, totally different from the businesses that your parents modeled. Why childcare? And when was the first one? And what was that like establishing that business? I know that was like 5 questions in one, but you got it.
So I first started out, my daughter, when she was younger, I wanted to be at home with her. She had open heart surgery.
Oh.
And so I didn't want to directly just put her into school, right? I wanted to be at home with her so I could see what's going on. And also, my mom put us in half-day school.
Okay.
And actually, daycare was not my dream. It was Kimberly's dream.
Ah, your twin.
My twin. And she was going to do daycare in her home.
Mm-hmm.
And so
she's great with kids.
She is.
She's the best,
awesome.
right?
Yes. She's the best.
Mm-hmm.
She is the best. Like, I love her.
I've seen her in action. When I had my little one, I was calling her.
Yes.
And we still have we have these plants in our home, these really big plants.
Yeah.
And when Kimberly came over, when Ebony was just a toddler, Ebony is my little girl, Ebony Jewel, was just a toddler, and she would write, like, type out words, trees and television, and she had them stuck on each of these items. Now, my little girl is now 12 years old, and when you walk in our place, you still see the word tree on one of those plants. I'm like, I need to go. So anyway, that's just to speak to.
Because she's the best educator.
Yeah.
Right? So she taught me.
Wow.
And just from seeing her in the house with her children, and growing up with her and staying with her, and that pushed me to, like, okay. So when she left Chicago, when my daughter was born in 2003, she had open heart surgery, and I was like, okay, I don't want to be at home. I want to be at home,
yes,
but I don't want to. I want to create an environment, a learning environment. And so Kim moved. She sold her house, and so I went to another far south in Chicago, and I said, okay, you know what? I need to stay in school, get my degree in education, but I do need to be able to work part-time so I can still stay at home, and I don't need a full-time job.
Yeah.
And so that's why I ended up doing a home daycare, because I was just like, my godmother at the time, Rita, she was saying that you can do this. And I believe she encouraged Kim as well. She came over and set my whole house up for me.
Really?
Yes.
So you started the daycare in your home?
Yes, in my home.
Okay, so you didn't go work for a daycare?
In high school I did.
Okay.
I worked for a young lady in high school, and she opened the door for me. Her name is Pamela Blackman. And she showed me, the daycare as well.
Thank you, Pamela, for opening doors.
Yeah, she had the first 24-hour daycare in the city of Chicago.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Are y'all still connected today?
Yeah, I still talk to her.
Wow.
Yes. Awesome person.
Okay.
Yes. And so with my godmother, Rita, she was just like, you could do this. And now, because the first day, you're nervous. You're like, wait a minute, they're going to ask you this, and the state needs that. And I'm like, oh, my God. And, but she came in. She set everything up. And she said, from this point on, you're going to win.
Oh.
And that was it. Because she had been in the game so long. Like, they have done newspaper articles on her. I mean, and she's just that mothering figure, right? She wants you to succeed, and that's the type of person she is.
Wow.
Yeah, and her niece is my daughter's godmother.
Really?
Yes.
Love it.
And she's a publicist. too. So
Oh,
yes.
Lord, you got the perfect package. You were surrounded by a village of people who believed in you.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
And that's so helpful and so encouraging as leaders. Like, leaders need that. You're pouring back and planting into other leaders to help them flourish. And look at you now with how many daycares?
I have 3, and so we're in the process of 2 more right now.
3, and in the process of 2 more.
Yes.
Absolutely love it. So how many kids did you start out with when you opened it up?
when I opened up, I want to say we had about 15 to 20 kids.
Okay, that's a nice
Yes.
number of kids to start out with.
Yeah, and when you're starting off, you have to really like hustle.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, your feet.
Say that again, girl.
You gotta hustle.
Say one more time so the people in the back can hear. You got to hustle.
You waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm doing to 12 o'clock at night, getting back up at 6. But in the process, I'm going to sleep at 4 o'clock because I'm still doing paperwork. So I'm my own secretary. I'm my own boss.
Absolutely.
I'm like the sergeant at arms. I'm mommy. I'm daddy. I'm everything inside of the household. And not only to my child, I'm also to their, to the other children because they need it. And they're going to see me, they're with me 8 hours out the day.
Yes.
So it's just like
so starting a business is not for the faint in heart. It's for the one who can really endure to the end.
Yeah, it's not for the weak.
It
is not. And you get so many people that say to you, they see the end, the process at the end.
Right.
And they always ask me, like, why do you go back to school? Why did you stay in school? And I'm like, because it's a learning process.
Yes.
To be great at anything, you have to keep learning.
Absolutely. Leaders are forever learners.
Leaders are forever learners. Absolutely. I just said to myself, I need to take a business one-on-one class. But because even though my accountant does my work, I need to know on my end how this business is going.
Exactly.
Right? Because you need to know, you have to watch your funds.
Absolutely.
You have to watch the business. You could point your fingers and you could tell people, hey, this is going on and that's going on. But at the end of the day, you have to still keep track of your numbers.
You got to oversee.
You have to oversee.
Oversee.
At so many levels. At so many levels, right?
Yeah, I'm in a leadership program, and the founder of that program always says, inspect what you expect. And I'm like, okay. So when you expecting something, you better inspect it. Right. You better make sure that it's being executed at the level you expect it to be executed. Right. And I'm like, interesting. So it doesn't feel like you are micromanaging.
Right.
But you are inspecting what you expect. And you have to trust the team around you. What was it like for you building a team? Because at some point, you're not the one that's, doing all the things. You can't be in all locations. You're not the teacher in the daycare overseeing anything. What was that process like for you, hiring a team, getting the right people in place? Because 40 employees, that's a lot.
Yes. For me, I think it's a lot of trust. And knowing a person.
Yes.
I was reading a book, right? And everybody has different unique qualities about them.
Right.
Because a manager or a leader should be able to look at you, sit in the room with you. First of all, a leader has to be able to do all the positions.
Right.
Right? Because I don't mind cooking food. I don't mind cleaning. I do not mind changing diapers. And I always tell people that because I would want a place where I would send my own child, right? Yeah. Why would I start a business if I wouldn't want to put my own child there?
That part.
Right? So
that part.
I need you to trust me. Yeah. But I need to be around people I can trust.
Ooh, right? Girl, hold on. Let me sit. Let me look. But that's not always easy.
No, it's not. It's not.
Because when you're hiring people, you're starting. I would say with Kids in the Spotlight, I hired a lot of my friends, people I've known for quite a while, and people who I do actually trust. Like, I know they'll show up. I know they're going to do everything they can to get the job done, right? But then you still have to hire in other positions. Like, everybody you hire won't be people that you already know. So how do you establish that trust? How do you know when you've developed that trust for the people that are around you or the people that you've hired?
Well, I've learned over the years, like, you can hire family, but you have to put them in certain positions. I learned that because you can't trust family, you know, but you do have to put them in certain positions, right? And that comes in as you being a leader. You have to know what people are good at. You might have a person who is good at talking with individuals inside of the classroom. You might have a person who is really good at doing the lesson plans and making sure things are ran accurately or going around. You might have another person that can speak with parents and organize that and events. You might have a person who is very autistic, you know. She can get everything done, put up, build sets for me, put balloons together, have my arts and crafts together. So that person has a uniqueness because everyone can't do that, right? And so me being around people and talking to them, I can learn who they are. I think that's one of my weaknesses too, though.
Talk about that.
Yeah, my weakness is I care about people, right?
Whew.
And when
that makes it complicated when you really do love and care about people. Yes.
And you don't want to see people fail.
Absolutely not.
And you want to help them, right?
Absolutely.
Even when people have kicked you down, you still want to come up and say, hey, you know what? I want to give them a chance. Even though you have the other people who don't understand you on the other side. They're like, wait a minute, let them go. They've did this, they did that.
Had that too.
But as a business owner, you know what's good for your business.
Right.
And every business owner is different.
Right.
Like I do think about Walmart, right? People don't know who Sam Walmart is.
Right.
You never seen
And
him.
he was so unassuming. He was driving a pickup truck. Wealthiest man ever. I'm like, this old, I think it was like, I don't know what color it was, but this old pickup truck, you would have never known.
You would never know.
Unassuming.
You would never know. The man who owned Hewlett Packard, he used to get on the New York, the train, but no one knew who he was. You know, they didn't know his face, right? But us being women, African Americans, and small business owners, it's kind of different for us, right? Because we have that mothering, nurturing innate inside of us. So we run our businesses kind of different.
Yes.
Is it right? Maybe not, right? But who's supposed to judge us for that?
Right.
I'm a mom first, right? That was my first role as being a leader, as a mother.
Yes.
And so when you get put in leadership roles, you see people, they want, oh, you got to be mean, you got to be nasty. I can't do that. I can't do that to people. Now, later on, okay, you might see Evelyn.
You might push that wrong button. Oh, Lord, don't push that wrong button.
Right, I'm not going to say I'm just this person, like I'm just, no, but when it's time to stand on business, we're going to stand on business.
Yes.
But I do have a soft, cuddling side to me. Yes. That probably has stopped me in a lot of deals. It probably has hurt me in my business. But I feel like I'm blessed in another area from that.
Because you're being authentically you.
Being me.
And you're not transforming to fit somebody else's model or definition of what leadership should be.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Because your leadership is based on your personality style, your innate emotions and feelings that you bring to the table.
Absolutely.
And your experiences. And your experiences are different than someone else's experiences. So I absolutely see that.
Right.
What do you think about accountability? Because that's when it gets really challenging for me, walking the line of holding people accountable for certain things. How do you deal with that because you were talking about, someone's good at this and someone's good at that and someone's good at this, but sometimes in small businesses, you need that one person to do all of that. Now, they may not be good at all of that, but you can't afford to hire a person that does just this or a person. How do you manage that? How do you?
Well, I have to hold myself accountable too. Are you have to be, it's accountability starts with you, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So people only do what you have trained them to do. So they only can go so far. Where did you stop the training? Where did you fail at with them? So I have to go back and, first of all, I'm apologizing to them because I felt like as a leader, I failed you somewhere, right? My instructions were not that clear, because now I know when I am speaking to my team, because I am building a team, and I pray on it. I say, God, please send me the team that I need.
Oh, that's good. Oh, wait, hold, girl. I'm gonna take 2 sips on that.
I always say that,
On
because
point.
we can't be prosperous. We can't be who we need to be without having a team. But you have to pray on it.
Yes.
Because it has to be, those people have to be sent to you. And you have to recognize.
I think that's the answer right there.
Yeah.
Praying on having the right team, God sending the right people to align with what you're doing, and making sure that, you know, you have those people in place.
You do.
That's good. And I even like the just being, when you see something is not going right, just saying, wait, let me first see if I've given you instructions that you understood.
Yes.
Because that's, you know, it's a difference between I heard you and I actually understand what you're asking me to do. Right?
Right.
And
That's
I'm
the
learning that
military.
too, because I'm assuming when I say it, you understood it and we're good. Because if you don't say you don't understand it, then I'm just, you know, you've made this assumption that someone understands the instructions or the expectations. So apologizing, wait, let me go back and make sure I establish the expectations and that you fully understand the expectations.
Yeah. And that's a big challenge. For me, I had to learn it, reading the books, praying on it, you know, because the first thing I would say to somebody, do you hear me? And then I'll say, repeat it back to me. Then I'll say, write it down. And then I'll say, repeat it back to me again.
Okay.
Because, and then I'll put it in an email. And so I have an ongoing joke in my office. When you speak to Evelyn, make sure you have your notepad. My father used to carry, and my sister and I always laugh, because Dad used to carry these yellow notepads.
Okay.
But they are like the writing in life to me. You write on them because you're going to keep them. They're your big dreams. They're your ideas.
Yeah.
There are things, God put ideas in our head.
Yeah.
What are you doing with them?
Yeah.
You have to write them down. What if you forget? I carry a book with me, sticky notes, everything. Because
that's good.
That is that idea. You could be saying, oh, wait, he gave me an idea. But I didn't write it down.
Right.
That could have been your $1 million idea.
And by the time if you don't, you got so many other things that are coming your way that you forget what was that thing? That's my problem. Like,
what did I say?
What did you? That was so. What was that?
Yeah.
So that is very important. Note.
That's very important. And so even with sitting in meetings, I'm writing it down.
Good.
I'm taking notes. Good. Because I want to take my team to the next level. Yeah. Because I can't go by myself.
Right. It takes a team.
It takes a team.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I want the people around me to be able to go with me.
Yes.
And I want them to enjoy life, you know, just to see that, hey, this is just not it. I always tell people that too, especially like my teachers that come in that haven't gone to school or probably haven't gotten their credentials and things of that nature. I would always tell them, this is not for me. This is for you. Yes. Take some classes, because you're not going to be with me forever. Right. I don't want you to be with me forever in this position. Right. Unless you're retired and this is something that you're just doing. Right.
You're just called to be here.
You're just called to
be
here.
For your career of choice, yeah.
Right, because you did pursue the things you wanted to do in life. But if you're just starting off and they're younger, I always have that conversation with them. And that's one thing my staff say. No, I tell them, let me help you. This is a resource. Use these free resources that I'm giving you. Yeah. Because this is going to take you and your children to something else. Because you could always come to me and say, hey, Miss Evelyn, I want to open up a school. Yeah. I would like for you to show me. Or even when people ask me things about their children, like how can I help them get into a school? How can I help them do this? Other resources. It could be anything. Yeah. But I want them to learn. This is free knowledge. This is free knowledge. It was given to me. I want to pass it on. Because when I first got in the game, I only had one person to show me. And it took me to get around my friends and to pray and cry to my sister at night to grow. Yes. Right? I have 2 friends who got in the game with me, you know, that's been there with me. Good. And my best friend, I talk to her and I pray. But they're in childcare with me. And then I had another young lady, and she helped me. She paved the way for me. She helped me with my first center. But having those people in your circle that see something in you,
Yeah.
Because we get those people,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
We meet so many young people in our lives, but they see what's on Instagram, they see all these other things.
All these other influences.
All these other influencers,
Yeah.
but they don't see the hard work that's being put in.
Oh, yeah. The grind.
The grind.
The
They
grind.
don't know that sometimes you got to shut it off. And you have to get into you.
Yeah.
You got to get back in school.
Yeah.
You have to know what's important for your life.
Absolutely.
To take it to that next level.
Absolutely.
And be around people who want something.
Absolutely.
Right? You got to be around them.
You have to. I tell my 12-year-old sometimes because she likes to watch the short videos on YouTube. Now, when she was younger, she used to do her own channel of reading books to kids because she loved reading books.
That's awesome.
But then she got, tired of that and she just started watching everybody else. I said, while you're watching everybody else, you're missing out on your own creativity. What is that? What's inside of you that you want to do? What do you want to create? Because you're spending time supporting everybody else's creativity.
Yeah.
But I think you need to take some time and think about what it is inside of you that you want to create and share with the world. And she's like, okay, mommy.
Right.
But I want to ask you this, though. What about people who may not have that circle, who may feel like, I feel like there's something on the inside of me, but I just don't know what to do, where to go, who to connect with. I don't know who to call. I really don't feel like I have anyone that's doing what I feel like I'm called to do. What advice would you give them?
My first advice is, who is your higher being? It could be God.
You better ask somebody.
Who do you pray to?
Right.
Because he'll open that first door for you. Where do you want to be?
Yes.
Having those conversations are so important.
Yes.
Getting on your knees. And that's only for me, so I can't speak.
You speak in truth.
Yeah.
Because that's honestly my testimony. When I started, I knew nothing about nonprofit.
Yeah.
I'm not in the entertainment industry. I'm not a filmmaker. And people think because we create films, we have a studio, they assume all the time that I'm a filmmaker. They start talking about these cameras. I'm like, girl, what you talking? I don't know. Sound equal? I don't know. Like, I'm not a filmmaker. And I didn't come from the child welfare system. I didn't know anything about really the child welfare system. I went and started learning all of this, which led me to starting the organization. But there was no one around. But I'm like, okay, God, if you gave me the vision, you're going to make the provision.
Yes.
You're going to supply the needs. You're going to and then having to get in and work the business from every aspect. And then calling on the right people. Like
He's gonna send them.
Exactly.
He's
Exactly.
gonna send them.
Exactly. Like
And
the director for.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will.
Yes.
Look, let me tell you, because my first director is actually our studio manager. He does this particular show.
Yeah.
First person I called to work, to come and direct the films that we were shooting with our first cohort. And it's been with us ever since. Because I'm like, I need people that can do what I can't do.
Right.
And I need people who are, I surround myself with people who are smarter, who I feel like you're smarter than me.
Yeah.
So let's do this thing, right?
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this about other leaders that you admire. Who are some of the leaders you admire?
Oh, wow. It's so many, right? It's so many leaders and local people.
Okay.
One of my leaders, I feel like a leadership role is my mom. She is my leader.
That's so good.
She has opened up so many doors for me.
Yeah.
Feel like that's number one because I wouldn't know what direction to take. She took us out of the neighborhood so that we can see what life is about, right? We could have became a part of our environment.
Yeah.
But she made sure she sacrificed a lot, and that is what she wanted us to have the best in life. Right? She didn't come from a lot, but she made sure that we had a lot.
Yes.
Through all her trials and tribulations.
I love that.
So that is my first leader, my
and
first
that's a leader
mentor.
you know from you up close and personal. Because we admire leaders, but honestly, we don't know you really like that. We just know how you present in front of, society, but we don't know you. But your mom in the household, that's somebody you knew intimately.
That's somebody I knew.
Yeah.
And Michelle Obama, I always think about her as well. I think about her because I love the way that she supports her husband.
Oh,
but
isn't it
the
beautiful?
way he and the way he supports her.
They make this fairy tale thing look real good.
Yeah, they make it look
woo,
real. But one thing, she keeps it real.
Yes, she does.
Right, and so she tells
like, this ain't no cakewalk, honey.
Right, this
Yes.
is not a cakewalk. I love that. I love the way she speaks, and I love the way she was speaking about her mom.
Yes.
Because sometimes people don't know they've never had a mother in their household who has supported them.
Right.
Or someone who comes close to that. So they do have icons that they look up to. Right? And so I always laugh with my daughter, and she laughs at me. And I say, you're very blessed to have a mother, right? And she'll say, oh, yeah, okay, Mom. She'll get off. And then my second thing I always tell her, everybody can't be a superstar. Somebody has to be a fan.
Yes.
Right? Because if we didn't have fans, you wouldn't have a superstar. You have to have someone you look up to, and somebody say, oh my God, I just want to be like them.
Right. And that's also the definition of a leader. You can't lead if no one's following.
Absolutely. Look at your followers on Instagram. You say, look at your followers. How many followers do I have? Right? Because people want followers.
Yes.
That's what they live for, the fame, the followers, right? And on Instagram, they put up their followers.
And when they hit the mile markers, they got these little signs,
Yes.
million followers.
Million
And they
followers.
celebrate it.
Right.
Like, this is a million. I'm like, go child.
Right. Would you ever think we'll be living in a world where the followers on Instagram
Never imagined.
is defining where we are right now?
Never imagined.
Never imagined. I would never have imagined that.
Right.
Like, the world is evolving so quickly. And so you have to find your space.
Yes.
You have to find where you need to be.
Absolutely.
Right? And you have to stay grounded.
Absolutely.
So,
Ooh, such good advice. Okay. I know I got to wrap up because I've already gotten my wrap up sign, and this is all, it's usually the hardest part, especially when I'm having so much fun with my guests. But just give me about 3 words that you think your team would use to describe you.
I would say that is just, I would say integrity.
That's good.
They would say, oh, she got integrity.
Okay.
Hardworking.
Yes.
And that, and I'm caring.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Evelyn, it has been a joy
Thank you so
having you.
much.
Thank you for flying all the way in from
Yes.
Chicago.
And I still got your popcorn.
Got me some Garrett's, y'all. Got me some, ain't nothing like Garrett's popcorn, okay? We'll give a shout out to Garrett's on this podcast. But thank you for being here.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to share your story. And guys, we talked about 3 books that Evelyn have. If you're interested in starting a daycare or just learning about business in general, please, please, please pick up one of her books and follow the work that she's doing in Chicago. She is a leader, and not just a leader, like I said earlier, I feel like she's the queen of entrepreneurship, okay? So thank you again for joining. Remember those 3 magical words: like, share, and subscribe, because we talked about followers on this thing, right? Come on and follow this journey with us and learn all that you can about leadership and be encouraged from the guests that we have on this show. And remember that whatever you do, always remember there is some type of leader in you. So I hope you grab some nuggets today that will help you on your leadership journey. Until next time, have a great day. Bye now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for today. I hope you were inspired and you gained some valuable nuggets that will help you to become a better leader and to walk in your God-given authority. Bye, until next time.